Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Pixie. Thank you, all of your team there in Unity of White Rock. And I send you infinite blessings of wholeheartedness, all the 12 powers active, and especially as we launch into this very high holy of days, not just holidays, but holy, HOLI days, that you are present to the Christed nature in yourself as yourself, and that is a becoming energy, and to become requires also a dissolving. So a simultaneous dissolving for the becoming. And I hold that space with you and for you as I am again in my own spiritual boot camp, as I continue to hone my own practices and to notice how the mind, the egoic mind, would say, I know that, I already know that, I already know about ThanksLiving, I already know about gratitude, I practice gratitude, I've got a gratitude journal, I've got gratitude books. And it's like, well, we don't yet know what gratitude is. We only know our very limited version of gratitude. We don't know yet what faith is and hope, the word of the day, Unity's daily word, and the words for the Advent launch. To begin to live in faith that is radical faith. Shockingly radical faith. As my little ones would say, crazy faith, crazy hope. So what would it be like to dial that up a bit and to begin to see what that would be like already as we then take down the platitude of Thanksgiving and the platitude of ThanksLiving and the concept about it, to say then, okay, how then am I going to live this out into the world? So it's interesting that the whole idea of Thanksgiving and gratitude has basically been about an exterior orientation. Can you relate to this? So we're happy and fulfilled and grateful when we get our way, when certain things in our lives are in order, when it goes the way we planned or goes the way we hoped or goes the way that we wanted it to. We're happy. Then it's easy to give thanks. So, for example, we think and believe that we can be grateful only when I have something to be grateful for. So the idea then usually goes like, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy if. This happens, that happens, but no, not when that happens. So then this resistance, this pushing back, this saying no to it, blocks the very power of gratitude. So to push something back, to deny, to exclude, to disintegrate, the opposite of ThanksLiving. Now, the good news of the day, the gospel of the day maybe, is I don't have to like everything that comes. I don't have to love everything that comes. I don't love what is. I don't like what is sometimes. And I don't have to go to war with what is either. I don't have to resist and push back and have a 2-year-old tantrum over it. Say, okay, here it is. This is included. There's droughts and flood, neither of which I like. And they're included. They're necessary. They're beyond my comprehension of just how vital they are. So then in that, how will I practice ThanksLiving? ThanksLiving that I can be. ThanksLiving that I don't understand that, and I know it's included because here it is. How do I know we should have floods and droughts? Here it is. How do I know traffic should flow and be stuck? Here it is. How do I know my family should be the way they are? Here they are. So we've assumed then naively that happiness depends on things outside of ourself, that happiness depends on happy circumstances, situations, events, people doing nice things for us, getting a surprise out of the blue, a raise in our pay, or for some of us high righteous spiritual types, just being surrounded by calm, peaceful, blissful experiences. Then we'll be happy. Then I'll give thanks. Well, in the absolute, the one power and the one presence, that all that is, and we're one with that, we're a spark of that divinity. Yes, absolutely. And back here at the ranch, back here in the physical, there's nobody alive that is peaceful, blissful, and calm all the time. So the only people without anxiety are dead people. So as long as we have a pulse, we've got some boot camp to do. We've got some spiritual exercising to do then to say, I've got to get a new view of this. I've got to get a new viewpoint on this. So as we look at a word then of gratitude, ThanksLiving, let's look at a word of gratitude and see what would do if we shifted around a little bit, if we didn't think that we already know what this means. That it is referring then, if I can be more in gratitude, when I have an attitude of greatness. Gratitude, greatness, gratefulness. So grateful, Grateful, grateful meaning greatness. Then thankful meaning thankfulness. So shifting to action, into action, or out of a notion, out of a concept into action. So it's my favorite thing when I think about making my anthems actions, to take all my platitudes and ideas and concepts and make them actionable, to live them out. It deals then with, in other words, with something within us. Instead of being externally referenced, to get an internal reference about this. Gratitude as an attitude inside of me, a state of being, a state of consciousness. The act then of gratitude and thanksgiving is not reactive. Acting in gratitude, acting in thanksgiving is not a reactive response, nor is it a response to things or people or situations or circumstances, but instead gratitude as a creative, generative, causative way of being, a way of thinking, a way of praying, a way of causing, a way that's filled with infinite potential. So then it's a shifting out that gratitude is not at all tied to the changing circumstances of life. It's no longer tied to what is happening out there, that it is instead a consciousness. A consciousness as a spiritual being in a human experience, equipped, fully equipped to navigate all the changes of life, even the losses. See if you can pause and just say that for yourself or to yourself. I'm a spiritual being in a human experience. I am equipped. As a spiritual being, I'm equipped to navigate all the changes of life. I am equipped to navigate all of whatever life includes. So true integration. And this consciousness of gratitude, this consciousness of ThanksLiving holds the power to shift you, to shift me, to shift us from believing to knowing. Imagine the difference from believing you're equipped to knowing that you're equipped. From believing that you're infinitely spiritual, eternally spiritual, into knowing that, and therefore living from that. It shifts us from craving, seeking their love, seeking their approval, seeking appreciation, seeking respect, seeking to be noticed, seeking to be understood. Hopeless, insurmountable, unattainable. So shifting from that craving into realizing what I am, into realization, God realization of what I am. I am that I am. And shifting in then to a realization, an awareness of what I have. When it is so tendencies for it, the tendencies of the other mind, the other polarity of mind is to see everything that's wrong, everything that I didn't get, everything that they got that I didn't get, everything I wanted and didn't come to. And it's like, of course, there was things we wanted that we didn't get. Of course, they got things that I didn't get. Of course, that's their life plan. That's their life plan. It's not mine. So I got what I got. They got what they got. And I can be mad and upset and pitiful and sad and bewildered all the way to my grave over what somebody else got that I didn't. Or using what I have, using what I've been given, the God gifts I have, and cultivating them and then doing with it whatever I can do. And I can't hold power and use that power causatively if I'm externally referenced or other realized instead of self realized. So then my insight, one of it is that this thankfulness and gratitude deal purely with an inner state of mind, an inner state of being. And that I realize that gratitude is causative, is creative. And I've been practicing this at some level since I was a very small child, 3 years old. And I got a vision. I had a vision of sorts, a knowing, something, an image was with it, that for this life, for the life of Martha Creek, there was 2 giant keys. And one was gratitude as a spiritual practice. And one was forgiveness. So you might look to see what your cornerstones are. What are you here in this experience to use and to continue your devotion to those spiritual practices for your own sake, for your own peace of mind, for your own activation of your innate, inherent power that you hold. So then I realized that gratitude is causative. It creates from things, experiences, and circumstances, and it does so then from an entirely different level of consciousness. From the highest point of view, as Eric Butterworth wrote about, to discover the power within us and to see things from a higher perspective. So I don't have to like this or love it, and I know from a higher perspective it's meaningful. I know from a higher perspective that it has to be included. So then beginning now, the first day of Advent in 2020, I have a very high auspicious time to say, I'm going to start practicing feeling grateful. Not for all things, grateful in all things. Feel the difference. To feel grateful in all things versus grateful for all things. And if you can be grateful for all things, go for it. I'm not able to yet. And that then our gratitude comes from a greatness within us that is from more of a transcendent awareness that my good does not come from things. My good does not come from something external. My good is through me, as me, from me, then. So internally referenced, good and plenty and big deep breath, enough. I am enough. It's enough, whatever I have. So see how that would suit you to practice that a little bit during this high auspicious holy days time. So then it is something I give rather than something I receive. It's something I am instead of something I seek. And then how to live that out in the world. So for example, if I cannot be grateful for my job, it's like, okay, well, some of us are very grateful for our jobs. Those of us that can't be grateful for our job, can we be grateful for what the job provides us? For the connection to people, for friends, for colleagues, for routine, for the money that it provides. So even if I can't be grateful for the job, I can be grateful for something that provides me the opportunity to use my gifts, the opportunity to serve humanity like that. So in this time, some of us are wanting to gather with family and can't. Others don't want to gather with family and are secretly delighted. It's like then how to be grateful for loved ones, even the ones we disagree with, either the ones that cause us to bristle, to be grateful for something that they provide us an opportunity to love, to have love, to be loved, to express love, and to iron out some of the wrinkles of our own false beliefs about how things should be and ought to be too. So then I can be grateful for my life and the bounty of experiences it provides, knowing, past believing, knowing that it is destined to evolve my soul. So it is for my own soul's evolution. And therefore, anything that evolves my soul evolves the soul of humanity. The wholeness of humanity then is affected by the way I am today, by the way I speak today and pray today and serve today, that I've benefited my own soul's evolution and the conscious evolution of the species. Very, very vital time for this contribution, I believe. So in this season of Advent, of becoming and bringing the Christ energy and the Christed energy through us, as us, a time of thanksgiving for some and high holy days, to give gratitude in a very new sense, a radical, radical new sense. And to do it through our prayers, our meditations, our practices, with our words, with our devotion, a renewed sense of that. And take a deep breath. And let's have some time now for meditation, for something you may have heard, a key word or phrase. As we take the teaching into our being at a cellular level, a gratefulness, thankfulness, and the spirit of unity in our teachings. Take a deep breath and say silently or aloud the word faith. Faith keeps me open to discovering new reasons to be grateful. Faith keeps us open to discovering new reasons to have hope. So admitting and confessing that sometimes we don't see evidence of hopefulness, sometimes it's hard, it's a challenge to reach there, that we're devoted and dialing up our faith today and our practice of faith and faithfulness. Who would you be as faith? How would you live as living faith? And get a sense of it, even when, and especially when, we can't see. Even when, and especially when, there's doubt and bewilderment present. It's present, it's included, we allow it. And I am a being of faith. I am being faith. Who would you be? And then the word hope. See if you can speak the word, say and feel and sense the word hope. I am hope. I have hope. I live hopeful. Hopefulness. And that deep within you, imagine and activate that power of this assured indwelling, an intuition, something that assures us of the power of hope and hopefulness, to be fortified in that. And that this faith and hope, this new radical, crazy faith and hope that we are and that we are becoming, is dissolving the formerly limited feelings, formerly limited beliefs, and dissolving our old paradigms and structures of knowing. And behold a new you. Behold a new you, born today, born again today, in greater faith, hope, gratitude, giving thanks. And big deep breath. We surrender today, sweet and living spirit, to a time for us to allow the great light to overtake us. A great and radical faith, a great and radical hope, and a great and radical ThanksLiving. Gratitude, gratefulness, thankful and thankfulness. And we know that we are birthing a Christed being in us and as us and through us. And that we're doing so now intentionally, causatively, deliberately, through our innate and inherent God-given power to do so. We begin again. We give thanks for this time of remembering, this time of meditation, this time of openness. We join in as faith. We activate as hope. And we give great, great thanks. So it is. Amen.
MarthaCreek.com if I can support you. Blessings.